Imagine this. You're living in a world surrounded by data, more than any generation before you has had access to. Every decision, from what to buy to how to run a business, can be backed by information. In theory, we should be better equipped to solve problems, make choices, and gain insights than ever. Yet, there's a curious contradiction at play, a data paradox, if you will. Despite having all this information at our fingertips, people and companies alike are often drowning in it, struggling to make it mean anything. In Mastering the Data Paradox, Nitin Seth unpacks this very phenomenon and takes readers on a journey to understand why more information doesn't automatically lead to more insight, and why data alone cannot drive the transformation we seek. The book is a wake-up call for anyone living and working in today's data-driven world, urging us to shift our approach, rethink our assumptions, and ultimately, change how we view and use data. So why should this matter to you, the reader? Seth's insights offer a fresh lens through which to view one of the most prevalent aspects of modern life: the overwhelming presence of data and its supposed power to solve all problems. But here's the twist. Seth argues that data, while immensely powerful, is only valuable when placed in the right context and when balanced by human insight. Think about the choices you make each day. Would you really want your most important decisions to be dictated purely by numbers, algorithms, and statistics? Or is there a space for intuition, experience, and values to guide you through the noise? Seth believes there is, and this is what makes his work so vital. At the heart of Seth's book is what he calls the data paradox: the notion that while we are surrounded by more information than ever, the real art lies in making this data meaningful. For those willing to dig deeper, Seth's insights offer a roadmap to transformation, both in how we approach data and in how we view its role in our lives. By exploring the tension between data and insight, he challenges the common belief that more data automatically leads to better decisions. In doing so, he exposes the limitations of a purely data-driven mindset and champions a more holistic approach, one that values human judgment and intuition as essential counterparts to data analytics. One of Seth's most profound lessons is the need to integrate technology with human intuition. He highlights this with an impactful story from a major retail company, which confidently used algorithms to predict customer buying patterns across regions. Their data indicated they'd hit the jackpot in understanding consumer behavior. But here's where the data failed them. It couldn't account for seasonal shifts, local events, or cultural preferences. The algorithm treated each region as a fixed entity, failing to see it as a dynamic, changing environment. The result? Stockpiles of unsold inventory, wasted resources, and a lost sense of trust in data. Seth's point is clear. Data alone is powerful, yes, but without human context, it can lead to costly blind spots. In Seth's view, it's this blend of human intuition and analytical rigor that makes for genuinely powerful insights. Imagine you're trying to understand what drives customer loyalty. Data can reveal spending patterns, preferences, or demographic profiles, but it's your ability to understand what motivates these choices, the subtle nuances of behavior and emotion, that makes the insight truly useful. The data is only half the story. By adopting this dual perspective, one that respects data but also sees its limitations, we open ourselves to a more complete understanding of the world. Another valuable lesson from the book is Seth's principle of data democratization. Seth argues that data should not be confined to the hands of a select few data scientists or locked within the walls of corporate boardrooms. Instead, data should be a resource available to all members of an organization, empowering every team member, from frontline staff to senior leaders, with insights that allow them to make informed, agile decisions. He illustrates this with an inspiring case study from the healthcare industry. By granting doctors, nurses, and administrative staff access to real-time patient data, one organization was able to revolutionize patient care. Diagnosis times were reduced, treatment quality improved, and teamwork became more seamless. Data in this sense became not just a tool for top-level analysis, but a shared asset that drove real, ground-level impact. Imagine data as water flowing through a city. If the city's infrastructure only allows water to flow to certain neighborhoods, others will remain parched and unable to thrive. Similarly, when data is hoarded by a few or siloed within specific teams, much of an organization remains uninformed and unable to make the best decisions. Seth pushes leaders to consider data as a communal resource, a shared asset that fuels every department, every decision, and every strategy. This perspective challenges the conventional approach to data, calling for a shift in how information is distributed and valued within organizations. Seth's exploration of data trust is another insightful theme that underlines why data, in itself, is meaningless without integrity. He describes data trust as the very foundation upon which all data-driven decision-making rests. Consider the scenario where employees doubt the accuracy of the data they're given or suspect it's being used with hidden motives. Without trust, data is simply noise. This mistrust, as Seth explains, often arises from a lack of transparency around how data is gathered, processed, and applied. No matter how sophisticated an organization's data models are, if employees or customers can't trust the source, those models are useless. Seth calls on leaders to cultivate a culture of transparency, where data practices are open, ethical, and in alignment with the organization's mission. For the reader, Seth's insights extend beyond organizational structure. His principles invite you to rethink your own relationship with data, to consider the assumptions you hold, and to challenge any myths you may have inherited. For instance, many of us believe that more data naturally leads to better decisions. But Seth reminds us that this isn't always true. In fact, the obsession with sheer data volume is one of the greatest obstacles to clarity and insight. He argues that quality, relevance, and context matter far more than quantity. To truly master the data paradox, we need to unlearn this dependency on volume and instead foster an appreciation for clarity and purposeful application. Another myth Seth debunks is that data-driven strategies can entirely replace human insight. Seth makes a case for the irreplaceable role of human intuition, noting that algorithms and machine learning models, while powerful, often lack the empathy, contextual awareness, and nuanced understanding that human beings bring to the table. In unlearning this myth, readers are encouraged to adopt a mindset that values balance, a blend of the technical and the intuitive. So, what's next for those who take Seth's words to heart? For anyone diving into mastering the data paradox, the book is more than just a guide to using data effectively. It's a call to transformation. Knowing how to harness data responsibly changes not only your approach to business decisions, but your entire perspective on information. It shifts data from being a static asset to a dynamic tool for insight and positive change. For entrepreneurs, business owners, and leaders, this means creating strategies that are not only data-informed but value-aligned, shaping organizations that are resilient, adaptive, and ethically grounded. As you reflect on these insights, ask yourself, are you simply accumulating information, or are you leveraging it for meaningful change? Are you caught in the pursuit of endless metrics, or are you using data as a tool to serve a larger purpose? Seth's book offers a path for rethinking our relationship with information, moving from passive collection to active, intentional application. It's about realizing that data's true power lies not in the data itself, but in the choices and actions it enables. Ultimately, mastering the data paradox isn't just about understanding data. It's about cultivating wisdom. Seth's work inspires us to rise above the data deluge and to use information as a meaningful tool for insight, transformation, and ethical growth. This reimagined relationship with data brings clarity, purpose, and the potential for profound growth in all we do. If this has sparked new ideas or changed how you see data in your own life, share your thoughts below. Let's discuss how we can all use the power of information to fuel real transformation, both in our personal and professional journeys. And remember, keep books over mind.